Hey, so today we're talking about Clubhouse ads, monetization, scammers and grifters, and Amazon's plan for world domination. Are you ready? Welcome to the Saymichael podcast. What up, what up, what up? What's going down? Welcome to the Saymichael podcast, one man's attempt at business, family, and comedy. I'm your wonderful host, Michael Aigbedion. And look, before we continue, you already know we have to introduce the world-renowned super producer, Saymichael. What's good?
Yo, what's happening? What's good?
How you feeling? How you feeling?
Feeling good. No, just another day at the office.
Another day at the office, man. You know this is the 66th episode.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we getting it though, bro.
Get it, man. Just being consistent, putting out one episode a week for the people, you know.
Spring is here. Look, spring is here, and Texas is wide open.
Yeah, spring is here, but summer's even nearer.
Oh, you're ready for summer?
Summer's gonna be bro. The amount of people that are saying, "Oh, I can't wait to be outside this summer." I'm like, bro, you've been outside since last summer, bro. Calm down, bro.
That's funny. He's like, I've been out. Look, it's true because, you know, they just had that Rangers game at 40,000 people in the crowd, right?
Yeah, it was full. It was full
packed,
house.
and they said some people, but you said you saw a lot of people who had masks.
There was some that had masks, but you already know what
that right there is kind of like shocking because we're in this whole moment where there's somewhat of a new variant that they said attacks like teenagers and like younger people, and it's like 10 times more contagious.
Yeah,
and they had this full stadium. And they're gonna start bringing back other stuff, but this full stadium, I would just imagine anything you touch there gotta have a little piece of Corona on it, just at least.
Yeah, that's a little crumb of Corona.
Yeah, and you know some people have bad habits. Like I had a friend where we went to this hockey game, the Stars, and there's like something on the window, and he sucked his finger, and then he like wiped it off, and I was just like, ew. I was like, bro, I should get a napkin or something.
Wait a minute, was he?
yeah. So he was like, he touched his finger, like licked it, and he just wiped it off the screen, off this little like a plastic screen, whatever, like something all was on. I was like, ew, why would you even touch it like that? But let's get on subject, because if you know, we always talk about Clubhouse where they're about to reach a close to $4 billion valuation, like they're doing another round of like funding, but basically, man, they just added monetization for users, like their actual users. You can send people money directly. And here's the even crazier part. Okay, so for you, right? I want to send SimSeason money, right?
Yeah.
If I send you $5, you keep 100% of the $5. So there's no fee or anything like that goes out of your pocket. You get the entire thing, and you can send $1, $5, $300, $1,000 directly to people now. What are your thoughts on that?
It's cool. That shows that Clubhouse is adapting. You know, they're staying ahead of the game. So it's good. You know, people might like a year from now be like, hey, I made this amount of money. I made this amount of money on Clubhouse. Tap in with me. You know.
Yeah. You're gonna see that. Like, hey, I made $1 million this year off Clubhouse alone. But that's what I really want to know. Like, how can you make $1 million off Clubhouse?
I mean, I'm assuming it's gonna be taxable, right? So,
I'm assuming, yeah. But even still, like, if let's say whatever tax before or after tax is $1 million, right? What do you have to do on there for people to say, I want to pay you directly? Is it that you have to? Because think about it, you got to ask people for money. You have to, right? Like, it's almost like people are tipping you.
Yeah.
So if you're rich and you're super successful already, like if Kevin Hart was on there, why would someone pay Kevin Hart directly $5?
Hey man, the game is sold, not told. You know.
So you think it'll be something where it's like a paywall where if you want me to tell you this, you got to pay me $1?
Yeah.
No, that'd be terrible.
I have some inside info on the coronavirus, but I have to charge you $10.99.
Yeah. Or half it was like something where have somebody was on there for real, like Elon Musk says, I'll give you $5 for decent advice, $20 for really good advice, and then if you give me $100, I'll give you like life-changing advice.
Bro, that's the whole Jay-Z dinner thing.
Yeah, people said, would you get what's the one they usually say for would you do like $500 cash or an hour dinner with Jay-Z? What would you do?
I take the cash.
I take the cash.
Like, what the fuck am I doing this thing, bro? Like, what the fuck?
What are you gonna do talking?
For what, bro? For an hour? For what?
Yeah, that's funny. So you don't see that as that advantage.
I don't see that as an advantage.
Have you seen that where people say, will you rather get $50 million or a book teaching you how to make $50 million on your own?
I take the cash. What the fuck? It's stupid, bro. Hey, bro. Listen, we working smarter, not harder here, you know?
Yeah, for real. But look, with this monetization feature, you have to watch out. And by that, I mean, you have to know who to give money to and who to invest in because Clubhouse is like scattered with like scammers and like grifters. And look, like I had to get the definition of grifter so we know on the same page. It says a grifter is a person who operates on a sideshow, like at a circus or a fair, like selling things, right? Mm-hmm. But they also say it's a swindler or dishonest gambler. So like somebody who, those people who do those little, they move the little things around. They said, hey, I'm the ball in the cup, right? And you kind of moving around like that will be looked at as like a grifter, right?
Okay.
All right. There's a internet version or social media version of that on Clubhouse.
Oh.
And they do things where, sometimes they'll make you pay to get on stage.
Yeah. So, for me, I haven't been on Clubhouse because I deleted the app back in end of January. So I'm not too familiar with what's been going on for the last couple of months.
Why'd you erase the app? What's your reason?
It just got too low energy for me, bro.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's too much BS on there. Of course, there's some good content on there, but it's just a lot of stupid stuff. Growing.
Yeah, look.
Oh my god.
I had to double down on what he's saying because when I first got on Clubhouse, it was amazing to me. Like it was like the best thing ever. I was like, this is so amazing. Not only being around, because you're not around people during the pandemic, and then you get to this moment where you have interactions with people in real conversation with like really smart, really intellectual, forward-thinking people. And then what happens is that, a lot of these kind of like scammer people start doing these particular like rooms that are built on like creating funnels for you to come in, listen for a little bit, and then you pay into some certain type of program, and then you get to a bigger program, and you get into a bigger program, and it's like a cesspool, a place for people to just tell people, hey, I could teach you how to start a business, right? And you go into these rooms or you pay these people for these little programs, and the thing is, you're paying for information that's already available.
Yeah.
But what's crazy is that you call this information age. There's so much available information. It's almost hard to know which is good or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the only one, like the one way, because look, I think it gets scammy, like into the scammerish area, when you're not an expert in something and you're selling something. You know what I mean? Like you're not well known for something. You're just pretty much well known for selling something. You know what I mean? Okay, are you familiar with like ML Billion?
Yeah, ML Billion. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on ML Billion? What do you know about this guy, and what are your thoughts on him?
Yeah, I've heard some of his stuff. He's cool. He's I'm saying he's made his money off cryptocurrency.
He did?
Yeah. He's an investor. He's a cryptocurrency investor.
ML Billion's a cryptocurrency investor? It doesn't say that when in his bio or anything.
I think he said. I think I might say it on his Twitter page.
Well, a lot of people have been going at him like on Clubhouse talking about how he's a scammer / grifter, and like someone said, ML Billion stands for money laundering billions.
ML Billion.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that he doesn't have a real name.
Yeah,
he has a real name, but he doesn't have it public, or no one knows his real name. He came out of nowhere, which is usually the story, right? Someone just comes out of nowhere with this magical system that got them out of poverty. Like they're living under a bridge or something crazy, made a change in their life, and then said, okay, I have to share this. It's almost on some type of, almost like a belief system, And he's been selling this, and people are saying like, yeah, we work with ML Billion, and like we're learning from him, and he's my mentor, but no one knows his real name. No one really knows the how his company really works. There's no like, if you Google this guy or Google his company, you find nothing.
Nothing at all.
Yeah, self-produced websites. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it just gets weird. And then you go to his Instagram. He just started, and every single video's well produced. And and one time, look, I went to his room because sometimes I go in his room, I'm like, before he even got to Clubhouse, I already saw the problem because I already saw it on Instagram. And some people, I always say this, you got to learn how to spot a fake diamond. And, you know, like you have to get up close into the details to spot a fake diamond. And basically, he gets on there on Clubhouse and he just does a lot of talking. And you go to one of his rooms and he said one time, he's like, look, I have all these houses all over the world. I have planes, I have multiple cars, and people still think I'm a scammer. My own people think I'm a scammer. And I'm thinking, how are those worldly possessions a measurement of whether you're a scammer or not? You know what I mean? Like it's not a measurement of your like scamming or success. I feel like all those things that you said, like, hey, you could live in a house like this, you could have a car like this, like that is not success. Mm-hmm. And the weird part is, if it was success, think about it. Like if it was success, like, okay, Sam Walton. Yeah. Sam Walton had, he came to work with his, and Sam Walton, if you don't know who Sam Walton is, he's the founder and creator of like Walmart. And he had his own jet. He had, you know, nice vehicles, you know, mansion and all that, but he never showed it off. He even went to work in a pickup truck. Do you know why that is?
Why?
Because when you have hardworking people under you and you're flaunting your money like that, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It almost causes resentment. You know what I mean? Because it's like you're showing the results of their hard work. So when you have people who are working hard under you and you're flaunting like jewels and cars and trips and all that, you know, it's usually off the back of hardworking employees. But in the case of where it kind of gets kind of again suspect is that it's done off these customers that are paying for a program monthly, you know, mm-hmm. and they're paying for these things for information that's already available. But you know, when you create that scarcity, like, hey, I have information that you need, and that's how you get it at this amount every month. And I'm not going to give you my real name. I'm not going to give you all this. It's just suspect. There's another guy on there.
Yeah, like why would he not give you a real name? That's
think about it. Why would someone go out of their way to hide their real name? Because something that they're not proud of is attached to that real name. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Because it's not a big deal, right? Like if you are who you are, just say who you are, right?
Yeah.
But if you don't want people to know who you are, you say who you want them to think you are, right? Mm-hmm. So people said, oh, ML Billion. And he says, even my mom calls you ML Billion, but what name were you born with? You know what I mean?
What's your government name?
Yeah, and he said, why are you my business? He's like, what? Like people are paying you. This guy charges $200 for his entry-level program per month. And people still don't know his real name. Some people have fallen out. Like there's, again, like I was telling you, there's a Clubhouse room specifically about outing him. Multiple rooms about like, how, you know, he has this program and then sometimes some people got money. It was just a long story of people's accounts of having a bad experience with his brand, right? And there's another person also by the name of JT Fox. You ever heard of this guy?
I never heard of JT Fox.
When you go to his profile on Clubhouse, it has like a black badge on there. And a black badge means that a lot of people have blocked him because of like abuse and like community abuse. Man. Yeah. Yeah, it's weird stuff, right?
That's weird.
Yeah, and and they run these rooms that are just really like, you know, predatory, you know, and that's why I'm like, man, like now that they add monetization, I wonder what's going to change because, you know, people are going to be really thirsty now. You know, people can create real paywalls to what they want to give, and I don't know, it's going to get interesting because this is where it's going to start getting interesting because Clubhouse added this monetization feature in really to kind of like show up in front of all these people who are trying to compete with them. You know, like, hey, we're going to have it direct to the creator because that's one of their principles. Their business principles is the creator first. So they said, how do we put the creator first? We're going to, you know, give them the whole amount. But here's the even crazier part. To send $1, it cost me 34 cents. And people say, why are the fees so high? Like Stripe gets a lot, but really, obviously, off of each transaction, they're splitting that fee with Stripe. So that's why they chose Stripe to go with them. And I can't wait because rumor is Stripe is going to IPO initial public offering this year. And like, I'm going to put a lot into Stripe. Stripe is such a great company. Okay. And the fact that they partnered with Stripe, I'm like, this is even better for Stripe. So if this does become successful for Clubhouse, it's going to be even better for Stripe in creating like direct payments for people. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's somewhat of an innovation, but I know you're familiar. You brought to me about Amazon Go. Like I want to play a video on it or have something on it so y'all can see it. But Amazon Go is basically like the cashierless stores that Amazon is doing, and they're actually having it in a couple of states right now, and they're going to expand it to a lot of places. But basically, Amazon Go is the like a corner store, like a 7-Eleven or a Citgo or a racetrack or something like that, right?
Yeah, convenience store.
You go in, you have to use your app to get in. Everything you put, it's almost like stealing. Everything you put in your pockets, literally, it just knows you have it, and you walk out and it charges you. And the store is completely unmanned. Nobody's there. I'm sure they have security at the front, something like that.
Should be something in there.
Yeah, because those the doors they had, how someone just goes right under it. You know what I mean? Or if someone hops it real quick. You know what I mean? Like, I know no one's gonna be like, "Hey, go around, use your app." No one's gonna say that. So if someone hopped it and just started putting stuff in their pockets, they just hop it again and leave, right? Yeah. So I'm assuming they have security there. But basically, they're doing the same thing with Amazon Fresh, which is their grocery store, which you could see why it's a leverage game against Whole Foods. And basically, you go in the store, put everything you put in your cart, and I talked about this a couple months ago. Everything you put in your cart shows up on this monitor, and it just knows what you're putting in and taking out. And that store as well is cashierless. There's nobody there manning that area. And it starts to make you think a little bit like there's other things that Amazon is doing that's actually expanding its market that people kind of really can't see. Like they have these Amazon Go's and Fresh in certain markets like Cali and I think New York and Seattle and maybe Florida or something like that, right? But as far as they have the the Amazon resellers?
Yeah.
Okay, Amazon resellers are actually purchasing like old Babies R Us's and Toys R Us's and, making those like fulfillment centers. And then Amazon themselves are buying actual malls and making that distribution centers. So you can see like this kind of takeover on the brick and mortar and making it even more convenient. Yeah. But what do you lose when you have convenience? Like, don't you feel like you lose something?
Oh yeah.
What do you feel like you lose?
I feel like I lose. I felt this way when I was in college. When I moved out, like, man, it's one thing. If there's one thing about college that I miss, it's convenient because everything was 5-10 minutes with each other. You know what I'm saying? Friends, stores, whatever. Yada.
No, what I mean is if you go in a store and there's no cashiers, no anything, you just go in and out, all that. It's an advantage and convenience, right? But do you lose something by making it that convenient? Like, is it easier for people to steal, or does it become something where grocery shop is not the same like it used to? Like,
I think what you're seeing is grocery shopping is not the same as it used to be. You're seeing people getting their stuff delivered to them now. So I think if they have the proper protocols in place for them to prevent security, I mean, I don't think it should be a problem for them going forward.
Yeah, well, like when Netflix, when they started providing like the convenience of like getting a movie right in your home and just watching it right there, then Blockbuster was trying to compete with them and they couldn't stand up, not even a little bit. But, what people talk about, what they missed from Blockbuster versus Netflix is like, yeah, Netflix is more convenient. I could get it right now, right in front of me. But the nostalgia of going in the store and picking up the actual physical item and looking at it and all that. I'm like, I don't know if that's such a good trade-off. You know what I mean? Because I would take convenience over everything. You know what I mean? Like nostalgia is cool, but convenience is better. Because, Blockbuster, that experience of going there, the experience of going to Blockbuster, everyone talks about, oh man, I used to remember the lights and the candy and the popcorn. But I'm like, I remember a lot of times I'll go there and the game I want has been sold out for 3 weeks. You know what I mean? The disappointment you would get from that. Or like, want to see that movie sold out again. And they say you have to come back at this time. You're like, man, I can't watch this movie everyone's talking about, And that happened with Blockbuster all the time. So, it was nostalgic, but I had some pretty, I just say memories that weren't so great when it came to like Blockbuster because of the inconvenience of going to the store and you have to go there over and over and over just to try to check for one thing that you really want, But actually, we were talking about earlier about, okay, so as you know, at the barber school, Michael's Barber Academy, we're revamping some things and make it to where people really get down and look, this is what's most important right now, that blend game.
That blend game.
Right? Like a lot of people work on their look and like, you know, like things that really don't show what they're really there for. Like if you're there like to cut hair, right? You could work on your look, you could work on like personality and conversation like that, but you're gonna have to be good at what you do. And that's why I say that with anything, you know, like if there's something that you're trying to sell or something that you want to push or whatever, like at the end of the day, like it could be have a good name or it could have a good brand or whatever, but what's going to be lasting is like, does it solve the problem it's set out to solve? You know, and some people are waiting to become successful or waiting to get better. But I can tell you right now, you know, spoiler alert, that it's not worth the wait. Like you don't wait on those things. You have to actually work towards those every day. And it's really difficult. Like it's to get better and to change and to upgrade, because we should never, in my opinion, ever stay the same ever.
Yeah.
Ever. Like you have to be better or different than you were yesterday. Have to survive, because everything changes all the time.
Gotta be evolving, man.
Yeah. So like it made me so upset when it came to businesses that would close. Like remember when Walmart would open somewhere? Yeah. And then all these little small mom and pops are like, oh, Walmart took us out, right? I'm like, why aren't you changing? Why aren't you upgrading and innovating? You know what I mean? Yeah. So how are you gonna get upset with someone who innovated better than you? Like all those places that quit too early, you know, or quit because or went out of business because they failed to change. It's like you can't say the same forever. And people want that. Say, oh, like no, we need to keep it like what it used to be. It's like no, you need to go where people are going. You need to meet people there, you know? Yeah. So that's why I feel like we can't ever get into a moment where we're just like staying the same, and we have to know that it's not worth waiting for it to try to like get better. Like in the future, people do that. Like in the future, I'll be better. You know, like, oh, in 3 weeks or in a year, I'll be better. But no, it's about what you do right now. Like, what are you doing right now? It's literally like constant work to get better at what you're doing, so you could be an expert, or at least be at some level where you could actually like, you know, like do the job that you're set out to do, you know? And that's why I encourage for anybody, especially like, I say this with the, you know, the students at the barber school, is that, look, like you're going to have to learn in class, on the floor, and at home, like constant if you want to get good at it. And it's not something that you just could come to class for and that's it. Like, that's why they give you homework, and then you have to work on that and bring something into class so you could achieve something. But hey, you know, I wish everyone the best. You know, anything else you want to add to the people?
I don't have anything to say.
Cool, bro. Well, this has been a good one. You already know the next segment is me and my wife, my beautiful wife, Bly. You're going to always enjoy this one. We always love the chemistry. It's a cloud talk right here. We're getting into it. So as you know, really appreciate you joining us, and we'll see you next week. We love you. Peace out. Peace.
What's wrong, Cake? Got your tongue?
Oh my God, I was about to say, what's going down?
Hey, what's going down?
What is going down though?
What's going down? Hey, what's going down?
I can hear subscribers unsubscribing.
I know, unsubscribing. Unfollow.
Yeah, it's like, man, bro, that's the last time I could hear this woman sing. Like, hey,
don't sound that bad.
Hey, that's my wife. Hey, chill out. That's my wife.
That's what I'm talking about. Stand up for your girl.
That's funny. How are you?
I'm good. I'm actually good today. That's crazy, right?
Look at you.
I know the past few episodes I've been like, I'm all right.
Yeah.
Today I'm actually good.
Well, wait, why are you so good?
I have no clue. I don't know. I think I'm just good today. I don't know why.
I'm happy. I just don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm happy. I have no idea.
I'm usually unhappy.
No, that's not true. I'm most of the times I'm happy, but today I'm in a good mood. Yeah, I had a good day today at work. Nothing like to complain about. You know, usually there's always something to complain about, but today's good.
It's funny. It's like you're happy, so let's unpack that.
Let's unpack this happiness.
Usually when you unpack things, it's never usually a good thing. So I wonder if people would say like, "Oh, you're happy. Let's unpack this."
Oh my God. Well, I am happy. I had we had Wingstop for dinner,
and
them wings was on pernt.
Man, they made it perfect.
Perfect on pernt. You hear me?
Yeah. Okay. What are the flavors?
So you got to have the hot lemon pepper. That's number one. Like, that's number one. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's number one.
And just so y'all know, we inspired Wingstop for this particular flavor, but Continue.
We did. We really did. We told them, hey, can you make us the lemon pepper wings tossed in the hot sauce? But then we said, hey, can you give us hot wings and season it with lemon pepper? So, either one, it's on the menu. Mm-hmm. But we got that. You got to get that. Then we got the spicy Korean, which is really good.
My favorite.
Your favorite, your new favorite.
Yeah.
Your new favorite. It's not that spicy, but it's so good. Mm-hmm. And then we got the, what was the other one? The mango habanero.
Yes, okay, that's one you like.
Yeah, that was really good. And I'm not a sweet, salty type of person. I'm really not that type of girl, you know what I'm saying? I'm either sweet or salty. But this is really good. I like the mango habanero. It's really good. I don't know what it is about it, but I like
Wing connoisseur. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Look.
I'm a little spokesperson for Wingstop.
You got the side with the veggies.
Oh, you got to have the veggies because the carrots be on burnt. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, my God. Remember the big thing where people, do you hate when people give you facts that you've already heard, that are really old?
Yes.
When they were like, hey, did you know that Wingstop puts sugar on their fries? Bro, that's 15 years ago. You don't have to
tell me that. You could just taste it. You know what I mean? You don't have to tell me. But I do like their fries, too, because they put sugar on it. But their fries are good. They be on point, too. But, yeah, I like Wingstop. It's a nice little treat for us. We get it maybe, not even once a month. Maybe, once every couple of months. So, it's definitely a treat for us. So,
it is.
Put me in a good little mood.
When people say, hey, McDonald's fries, if you lots of fries and it's over a year, the fries still look the same. I was like, so that's old news.
I know that's old news. And so I'm still going to eat their fries.
Did you know the burger still looks bro, have some new facts.
Right. And I'd be like, so I'm still going to eat it. Why are you telling me? Somebody actually on TikTok did that. I think a mom had a hamburger for 20 years.
Yeah, the long yeah.
And
the old
she
woman?
opened it. No, it wasn't an old woman.
The man, he put it in his pocket.
No, this was a mom who has 2 teenage kids. So I think it's 20 years. I could be wrong. Maybe 15 years. But she had a burger for a really long time, and she opened it, and it still looked the same. And the fries, too. Everything still looked the same. I was like, that's disgusting. No mold or nothing grew on it. No fly flew out when they unwrapped it.
Nah, the one that I saw was crazy was a guy who he came home, mm-hmm. and his wife said, you're not supposed to eat burgers or anything like that.
Yeah.
So he ate one of the burgers in the car. Mm-hmm. And when he was coming in, he didn't eat the last burger, so he put it in his jacket pocket. Yeah. And then he hung up his jacket and forgot about his jacket for 20-something years.
Oh my God! He don't do no spring cleaning. The hell?
He takes it out. He looks in the pocket, finds a burger, unwraps it. Looks perfectly new.
So what about the salt, the ketchup and stuff? That just evaporates, or
no? I think
is it still there?
It just goes all, turns all hard and all that.
That's so gross. I mean, I'm still gonna eat there, but it's still gross.
Yeah, and it's can you believe you're putting this into your body? He's mm-hmm.
Yep, exactly. Mm-hmm. Exactly. They got the best fries out there, and I ain't tripping.
Yeah, no, their fried technology is on another level.
You remember they tried to change their oil or something? Yeah. And it was the fries didn't taste the same?
Yeah, it was, I think they still did change the oil, but they went back. They did something different to bring it back.
They brought it back because people protesting. Because they try to make it healthier by changing the oil. People are no, because it got cold faster. Yeah.
It wasn't the same.
It just didn't have that same yellowness, that golden, that golden crisp.
And I like about that they make sure that they give the longest fries. Mm-hmm. It gets the longest one. So when they chop it, they want the long potatoes. Oh. So they can get a long fry.
I like the long ones because they're kind of soft a little bit. Yeah,
that's my favorite ones.
Really?
Yeah.
You like the fries from Chick-fil-A where they have you call them the turtleback fries?
Ew, I don't like those.
You don't?
No, I just eat those because I know the boys won't.
And I eat them, but when I eat them, you get mad at me for eating them.
It's kind of disgusting.
No, you get mad because I eat them before you do.
I don't want those. Why do you say I want those?
I thought you do.
No, I don't want those.
I like those fries. I'm a potato girl, so.
Yeah, it's too thick.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
I like it.
Yeah.
I don't know why I like those fries.
And it's kind of deformed. That's what it kind of.
I know you said it look like little turtles.
Yeah, it's
the turtle shells.
Yeah, over here talking about fries. If you talking about fries, y'all better hit crispy, crunchy chicken.
Ooh. Okay, so all right, y'all.
Since we talking about food.
Since we talking about food, I love their chicken. Okay, I'm a Church's girl. I know I've said this on this podcast before if you guys listened. I love Church's chicken. I don't care if the chicken ain't real. I don't care if the chicken falls on the floor. I really don't care. I love their chicken. Yeah. And now we get crispy, crunchy chicken. Mm-hmm. And their chicken is really good. We had it in the refrigerator for probably 2 days. And we, just put it in a microwave. We didn't air fry it or anything. And it was still crispy.
And juicy and delicious.
And juicy and delicious. I said, what? And their fries are good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, y'all got to try it.
I put a few people on.
You put me on.
Yeah, look, my homegirl Jazz from high school, she at the park or something like that. And, she was like, what? Me and my son looking for a good chicken spot. Like, where's a good chicken spot? I was like, you need to try, like, crispy, crunchy chicken. He's like, hold up. I ain't never heard no crispy, crunchy chicken.
Oh, my God.
So how's it going to be that good if I ain't never heard of it? I'm like, it's right there.
Really good.
I was like, it's really good. And she's like, I don't believe it. Are you saying it's like good, like seasoned good and this?
Yes.
And I'm like, yeah. And then when it got to, all right, I'm going to take your word for it. And she got it. And then I hit her up later. I was like, hey, what'd you think? And she's like, I ain't going to lie. It's the best chicken I've ever had.
I'm telling you. And I love like Church's. I love Popeyes. I love fried chicken. But this chicken is really good. Like, I don't know who owns this spot. I don't know if it's a little hole in the wall.
I think it's a franchise.
Really? Mm-hmm. That chicken's good. Y'all got to try it. Wherever y'all at, if they got one near you, try it.
I was like, man, maybe I should franchise crispy, crunchy chicken.
You should. I think you talked about that before. But you look at everything as a business.
Yeah, I was like, maybe I should. No, but that wouldn't be a bad idea. I just don't know if I want to go into, like, fried chicken.
Yeah, I don't want to go into. But, who should go into fried chicken? Like, come on. Like, seriously. We should be owning all the fried chicken spots, So we remember we even Googled all the fried chicken spots, like to see who owned, like if they were black owned or whatever. And Popeyes is not black owned. Church's isn't black owned. But Williams Chicken is black owned.
Yeah, Dallas, Texas.
Yeah, in Dallas, Texas. So that was pretty dope. And I don't know if we looked up crispy crunchy chicken. I'm not sure if we Googled
think so.
them. We have to look them up. But yeah, we were just curious one day and we were like, black people, we always trying to, we
always talk about chicken. We talk about, like you can't come between a black man and his chicken, all this kind of stuff. But then you look and you're like, okay, there's
Why are we not owning any of them?
I wonder what's up with that,
Especially like Popeyes. I thought Popeyes was black owned, especially coming from, I think, Louisiana, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought it would be black owned. It's like a really good, flavorful, fried chicken. And to find out it's not even black owned, I was like, man, we need to be out here owning all the fried chicken spots.
Yeah, this is Neil Onebane.
Oh.
Whoever Neil Onebane is.
He owns Crispy Crunchy Chicken?
Yeah, white guy.
Oh, okay. Well.
But, he got some, that's interesting. I wonder where they're from. Louisiana.
Oh, wow. That's weird. I've never seen a Crispy Crunchy Chicken in Louisiana. Oh, maybe I have.
I don't know if that it is from Louisiana, but it said Louisianians.
Yeah,
is that what? Is that even true?
They're from Louisiana, so maybe that's what it is.
They're from Louisiana. Moved to Waxahachie.
Opened up a fried chicken spot.
Yeah, but the things that if it's such a stereotype, then you should really own that stereotype.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, for real.
I'll be okay with that.
Yeah.
Bly's Chicken.
Would you want your own chicken spot?
No.
Why?
Well, I make pretty good chicken, fried chicken, but it's just, I like to cook, but I just don't cook like that.
You can't see yourself like in the kitchen like that all day.
No, I really can't, especially when it comes to fried chicken. As much as I love to eat it, I hate to cook it because it's so messy. Like the way I do it is old school. I got the flour in the paper bag. You know what I mean? I'm dipping the chicken in there, back into the bowl with the eggs, back into the batter, and then I'm throwing it in the deep fryer. So I don't do the air fried chicken. I don't do like let's do the oven baked fried. I don't do that.
I hear people right now like, hey, don't sleep.
Yeah,
hey, don't sleep.
I'm saying, don't sleep. You're right. I'm gonna have to try the new age fried chicken, but I just do the old school, and it's always messy. Your hands are dirty. You got flour everywhere in the kitchen. So that's why I never really cook it. I think I probably cook fried chicken maybe 2-3 times a year. Maybe.
How about fried fish?
Same thing. It just gets so messy, and I just love fried food, but to cook it is just a headache for me. So
oh, interesting.
That's why I rarely ever cook it. And then the cleanup too, like the oil and all that stuff. You got to clean all that up. It's just too much for me.
How about a New Orleans? Like, could you create something like that, like a New Orleans food bites place?
That would be kind of cute.
You know what I mean? Like, can you do like a crepes place?
Not a crepes. I've never made a crepe in my life, but I love to eat crepes. Yeah. I probably would do, if I did small bites, I probably would do like little small, like little crawfish etouffee bowls and like little gumbo bowls and something like that, like a crawfish Monica pasta bowl.
What would you call it?
Bly's
Oh my
eateries.
God.
I don't know. You know, everything has to have my
Bly's.
name in it, so it'll
Yeah.
be like eat at Bly's. I don't know.
Yeah, that's funny.
Something like that, I guess. I don't
Would
know.
you be the cook?
No, I wouldn't be the cook. No, indeed.
So you wouldn't even be part of
No.
that at all.
I mean, I would probably create the menu or create the ingredients for the meals, but I wouldn't be back there cooking.
It'd be like, welcome to Bly's Eatery. Then a year later, it closes down.
Not even a year. After a month, I realized I ain't making no money. I'm like, yeah, we're going to have to shut this down.
Like, hey, what happened to your spot? It's like, oh yeah.
Nope. I wasn't making no money. No, I'm good. After that grand opening, I'm good.
That's funny. That's funny. What else has been new with you?
I've been focusing on my palettes. That's been doing really, really well. I have 3 events this weekend.
You're really killing it.
I'm like super excited. I mean, I'm excited, but I'm scared because, you know, I think I didn't really think this through. You know, like I just was like, I want to do it, and I just started, you know, promoting it, and then I'm getting booked, and I'm like, okay, I still have a full-time job. Like, how am I gonna do both? You know, so I'm just kind of struggling with trying to do both. Which so far I've been successful in doing both, and just, you know, I think it's just having customers book me early in advance so I can request those days off from work and not have to call in or anything crazy like that. Because I still want to be, you know, super productive in my full-time job. I still want to do what I'm supposed to do when I, you know, go there. But then at the end of the day, I still have my, you know, palettes that I, you know, love and head over heels for. And I want to put my 100% in that too. So, I don't know. I just hate telling people no. I'm like, no, I can't do it this weekend.
Yeah, it sounds like you're not really in business or something.
Yeah,
or
like,
what?
they probably think I don't take it seriously. And I'm like, you know, some people have to say no because they want the same day that other people have already booked. So that's always like, no, I'm so sorry, but I have this day, you know, and obviously they don't want that day. Or
I was gonna say, or maybe you could have a calendar of the availability.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that will work.
I mean, which I do have, but then my work schedule is not made in advance like that, you know. So luckily, my work schedule has been made for up till like the next 3 or 4 weeks. So I kind of know what my schedule looks like, but those things change, you know. So, you know, it's just like, it's just really hard to tell right now. But I mean, right now I'm doing really, really good. I have, like I said, I have 3 this weekend that I'm super duper excited for. And then next month I already have, I think like 5. Wow. You know, so I'm just like, I'm just blessed and I'm just so thankful. And I'm just like, I just can't even believe that people just are booking me, you know? So
yeah, it's unbelievable because a couple of months ago, you're like, all right, it's time to like knock the dust off and get back to it. And then now you're back to it for real.
I know. And the crazy part is I've kind of held back on promoting because I don't want people to keep booking me because I don't have like the schedule to do it. So before, I'm like, okay, posting, you know, every day, or I'm in the backyard, like recreating tables and different looks and posting those and giving people like ideas and keeping it on their minds like, oh, I can really, you know, book her or whatever. And I was doing it consistently. And then I just kept getting booked and booked and booked. And I was like, okay, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed. Like, okay, let me kind of like cut back on the promoting. And I have, but people still are booking. So they're going back to like the tables that I posted last year to say, hey, I want this exact table, but can you kind of change it up a little bit? So now I'm just like, okay, you know.
That's the hardest part about promoting services because you have to balance out the labor that you have to put out, and you're like, man,
it's a lot. So just trying to make myself available, you know. And then I don't check my Instagram because I am at work, you know, 40 hours a week. So if somebody hit me up at like, let's say 10 a.m., I'm not going to check it till probably like 4 or 5, 6 p.m. And so a lot of times I'll, you know, when I do respond, they're like, oh, don't worry, I went with someone else. Or it'll be more like, okay, do you have this day? And this day is already booked and taken. And I'm just like, oh, I'm so sorry. You know, I can't do it that day. You know, but you know what? It's definitely like a good thing to have people want you than to not have people want you.
I could tell you something that's a little bit inspirational behind it. Is that there's this gentleman who's actually in Houston, Texas.
Okay.
And he is actually, I forgot what you call it. You know, the people who do autopsies?
Yes.
And so he's that type of a doctor.
Okay.
And when he was trying to, he loves cooking, so he's like trying to cut. He's like, they're not good knives.
Yeah.
Then he realized his not optometry, but you know whatever he used for autopsies.
Yeah.
That knife He made a certain blade for it.
Oh, wow.
So then on the side of his job, he was making these knives.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and there is literally a waiting list that is over a year.
Really?
For his knives.
What?
Because he says, this is just a side passion project.
Yeah.
I love my job. I love everything I do there. This is not even to make money. This is just to provide
a side thing.
Yeah, a high level, high quality knife that doesn't exist. And he's like on the news talking about it. Wow. He's over here talking about it. You know what I mean? Like this is like people are like, I've been waiting this long, and they pull it out and they cut. They're like, oh my, it's the best blade ever.
That's what I need. We need that.
Yeah.
Man, that's
but
awesome.
The price is pretty high.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
For something that doesn't exist. Yeah, I'm sure it is.
So it's
expensive.
like $300 for or like a small.
Oh,
and then like 700 something for like the medium size, and then for a full size it's like 1,000 something.
I wonder how much that set costs. Hopefully you get like a little discount if you buy all three.
Yeah.
3 knives for like $1,299, $1,299.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
So he didn't have any. He's not looking to say, oh, this is so big, I need to quit my job. He's more like, look, they could wait.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if they want this type of quality, they have to come to me.
Yeah.
So it works out for him.
That makes sense. Because, I mean, I'm not ready to quit my job. And I'm not, my job, I love it. But then at the same time, I hate it. I have a love-hate relationship with my job. So it's like, I don't know if I want to go full-time with the pallets. But if that is the case, then I'm all for it,
What do you mean you love it and then you hate it?
Because, I mean, I love what I do. But then at the same time, there's like, there's good and bad in everything. So a lot of times when I get to my job, I'm just like, here we go again, But then when I'm in it and I'm helping customers who are actually like great customers, then I start to love it. But then when I'm helping like the assholes, then I'm like, oh, I hate my job, you know? So it's just like a love-hate relationship that I battle with, which I'm sure most people do.
Different type of asshole when it's like retail, right?
Oh my God. This entitled.
Yeah.
Man, they be cursing you out and everything. And all you gotta do is just look at them. I be like, ooh, girl, just wait till I clock out.
Wait till I clock
out. I'll meet you in that parking lot. For real. But yeah, it's all good. I try not to take it personally. So, people scream, they just scream. Whatever. I don't even care anymore.
Wow. And the summer, like the spring just started.
Yeah, it just hit. Yep. Easter was last week. Yeah, so
did you enjoy your Easter?
I did. We had a great Easter. We did. So the boys were with their Nana and Pawpaw. So we just we did nothing. We went out to eat Saturday night, which was like really cute because we just was like, oh, let's just go walk around, outside, catch some great air or whatever, fresh air. Then walked into a restaurant and sat down and started eating on Saturday night in like our sweatpants and hoodies.
Yeah.
So that was cute. And then we were like in bed majority of the day for Easter. So it was like no pressure and just very relaxing. We had breakfast and we just chilled, and then we got up, got dressed, went to your parents' house, and the boys were there, our nephews were there, so they got to play and they did an Easter egg hunt. Your mom, she's so gangster, she put money in the Easter egg.
Yeah.
So the boys loved that.
Yeah.
Which we did leave the money at the house. So I don't know how that works.
We did
your
in
mom
the
just
basket.
take the money, she put it back in her purse. But yeah, the boys, they loved it. And the candy, yeah. Dang.
Yeah, I need to go get that.
Yeah, you do. Not the money, but the candy, for sure. But Easter was good. But, we, I bought a ton of stuff for the boys for Easter. And I ended up just giving them this, singing dinosaur that poops out eggs that my mom actually bought for them. So I just gave them that when they came home. And then, so I haven't even made their Easter basket or anything. Like, all the stuff that I purchased for them is, tucked away somewhere. So maybe we'll celebrate Easter again this weekend. Just keep it going. You know what I'm saying? Just like another Easter day.
Yeah.
Just keep it going. I think they'll love it.
Man, I learned today, since we're talking about, the Bible a little bit.
Really? Okay.
So, they said that a rich man won't make it to heaven.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a Bible verse.
Oh.
And it says something about a gentleman who said that, he's been doing everything right and he would like to go, what does he need to do to go to heaven? And he said that, the likelihood of a rich man going to heaven is the same likelihood of a camel going through the eye of a needle.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, what? I'd never heard this, right?
Yeah.
And 2 people said it to me today, yeah, that's true. That's true. Rich people won't go to heaven. I was like, what?
Even if they're giving and no?
Yeah, they said that the guy said if you had a chance to go to heaven and give up all your belongings, give up all your what do you call that?
Blessings.
Not blessings, like your, and all your, your
jewels,
not valuables, everything that you have.
Yeah,
and
the stuff you can't take with you.
Yeah. Would you give all that away to go to heaven? He's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, but that's what you're gonna have to do to get to heaven. But that's not a life you would choose. Like you're gonna have to give all that away in order to get into the gates of heaven. But are you gonna choose to do that?
Oh, so wait, so a poor man will get into heaven, but not a rich man?
Yeah, and let me see if I could.
That's very interesting, because I would think that if you are rich, hopefully you're not being greedy and you are giving back and you're, taking care of people who are less fortunate than you. But I wonder why. I wonder what Bible verse that is.
Yeah, and I was just like, I want to find it so y'all could know what I'm talking about, because it kind of threw me off. I was like, what does that even mean?
Yeah, I need to know. So that means we shouldn't want to be rich?
No, I don't think it has anything to do with that. Look, I'm almost gonna get there. I don't want y'all to lose interest in.
I mean, if anybody knows, definitely hit us up. Let us know, because that's very interesting.
Yeah, here it is.
Okay.
It says, the eye of a needle is scripture quoting Jesus recorded in the synoptic gospels. I tell you the truth, it is hard for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven.
It is hard, but not impossible.
Yeah. And then the part that says, I tell you the truth, it is hard for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. Again, I tell you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God. When the disciples heard this, they were greatly astonished and asked, who then can be saved? Jesus looked at them and said, with man, this is impossible, but with God, all things are possible. And then he says, the saying was a response to a young rich man who asked Jesus what he needed to do to inherit eternal life. Jesus replied that he should keep the commandments, which the man replied that he had done so. Jesus responded, if you want to be perfect, go sell your possessions and give to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. Then come, follow me. The young man became sad and was unwilling to do that.
Of course he was.
Jesus then spoke that response, leaving his disciples astonished.
Oh, wow.
Is that interesting?
That is very interesting. But see, that goes to show you that people value the wrong things, But I guess that's why they say, you can't take those things with you.
Yeah.
It's okay to just give it up. But then you want to, but if you work hard, should you be able to enjoy it while you're here? And then, before you die, you give it away, or no?
Yeah, but then I was thinking, I was like, let's break that down. What's rich? You know what I mean?
What is rich? Yeah, because everybody has a different definition of rich. Because $1 million to you is nothing to a billionaire. So
or let's say $1,000 to a person who's impoverished.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They were like, man, this guy's rich,
And maybe rich could be where it's you, your family, you got you live in paycheck to paycheck, but you got a roof over your head. That could be rich in some eyes too. So I wonder, what is rich? What's the definition of rich? Does it mean that you have a lot of money? Or is it what you value as what's
exactly?
rich?
Exactly. And then when you talk about worldly possessions, if God or Jesus was to ask me today to give up all my worldly possessions, I'm like, that's no brainer.
Yeah, exactly.
I could care less about the worldly possessions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the car, the house, jewelry. Who cares about all that?
But what about the car and the house? Where will you live?
I'm assuming I'm not gonna be on the street. I assume it's going to be just a test. He's I was just testing you.
No, Lord.
Such a good dude.
Yo, my God. Look, he know your heart. Look, people be like, he know my heart.
Yeah, and so that threw me off because, one of my employees was on the phone and he was talking about something he wants a salary or something like that, right? And then he's like, he wants to make X amount per week. And he's like, look, I'm not trying to get rich. I was like, yeah, you can get rich. He's like, nah, because I won't get into heaven. I was like, what? You don't get into heaven.
Yeah.
So then, as I'm saying that, my assistant was like, yeah, that's true. I was like, hold on. Both of them are telling me the same thing at the same time. I was like, hold on, what? And he's explaining it, and she's explaining it mouthing it no, because with the eye of the needle. I was like, what? Hold on, both of y'all, what are y'all saying? And then
wow.
he's like, yeah, you never heard that. That's my employee's like, you never heard that? You know that, rich man don't go to heaven. I'm just trying to live a comfortable life. I'm not trying to get rich.
Not a comfortable life.
Yeah.
But then what's the definition of rich?
I know, that's what we were unpacking after. Yeah.
They might think that you're rich and you may think that you're not rich.
Yeah, exactly.
So everybody's definition of rich is different. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I don't know how that works.
I know, and that's why I was like, maybe how do you understand this? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But I don't think it's meant literally like if you're rich what I think it means is that like if you're rich and stay rich, when you're dead, you're not gonna get into heaven or something like that.
Yeah, but I feel like if you're rich or if you have money and you have enough to give back and you don't, maybe that's considered rich.
Yeah.
Like if you have enough to cover your overhead and you still have money left over to give back, whether it be volunteering or, monetary or whatever, and you don't, maybe that's considered rich. And yeah, maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
Maybe we need to talk to a pastor.
Yeah, we do. Look, I got a deacon. My cousin is a deacon. I could call him.
Yeah,
you
need to call. You be like, hey, break this down for me real quick.
You know what? I might actually call him whenever we both are free. We should call him and talk to him because he'll break that down for us.
Yeah, and then he's like, hold on, what scripture?
He be knowing.
I know, because I was like, T.D. Jakes is rich, right?
Yeah, he has
Joel
like a helicopter.
Yeah, Joel Osteen is rich.
Yes.
Yeah, so I don't know if you consider like this is how I see rich. Maybe rich is maybe you just have a bunch of stuff just for you, like selfish.
Exactly.
But when you have like, let's say Jeff Bezos, who all his wealth is in the business he's doing. So it's not like he has $1 billion or billions of dollars cash.
Right.
It's in the value of his business. So maybe it's not that if he had billions of dollars cash and he's hoarding it, that'd be different. I feel like that would be maybe a poor use of your wealth, right?
And if you're not giving back,
exactly.
that too, so how can you be living in a mansion when there's like homeless people on your street? Like, are you giving back?
If you live in Houston, it's not a big deal.
Well, there's so many people, homeless people in Houston, and there's so many rich people in Houston too. So
yeah, it's funny. Someone was like, they want to move to Houston, and they're like, I was like, yeah, the only thing about it is like, the homeless, they haven't really solved the homeless issue over there. It's like, Dallas, we have a whole bunch of homeless. I was like, you think Dallas has a bunch of homeless?
Wait till you get to Houston.
Till you get to Houston.
Man, it's a lot.
Yeah.
In Dallas, it's kind of like certain areas. I feel like in Houston, it's everywhere.
It's really sad, though, because
it is.
It's gotten tremendously worse.
It's worse. I feel like every time we go to Houston, I always see more and more homeless people. And it's, like I said, it's not like where, downtown, that's pretty much everybody's downtown. You'll see a lot of, like, homeless people. But when they start to be in, like, neighborhoods or, like, right off of every exit on the highway, you're like, this is a lot. This is a lot of homeless people.
If I was going to be homeless.
Oh, God. Where would you live?
California.
This boy going to lay on the beach.
Yeah, well, okay, look, if you had a choice.
I think you can't do that, though. You know what I mean? I think the police be out there like, excuse me, sir, you cannot be sleeping on the beach. I don't think you can.
No. What I'm saying is, if I was home, if I had to choose, think about it. I don't think a lot of homeless people are in like Milwaukee. You know what I mean? Or Colorado. It's too cold.
Yeah, they could be, though. You don't know.
I know I wouldn't be homeless in Chicago.
Heck no.
You need a home in Chicago.
I'll be homeless in Florida. I'll pick Florida.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
But then it'd be too hot, though. You got more hot weather than cold weather. So, yeah, probably California. But, see, I don't like cold weather.
California's not cold.
But at the nights.
At night it's cold.
At nights it's cold,
but in the day, you could...
Yeah, but at nighttime, that's when you really, like, that's when homeless hits. Like, I'm really homeless. I feel like it would be at nighttime.
Man.
So I would have to be, like, probably Florida where it's hot.
But, I mean, don't you like it kind of cool with a blanket?
Yeah, I'll just stay in Texas.
You stay in Texas?
I'll just stay in Texas.
Which part of Texas?
I don't know. Dallas. The nicest part. Austin. Austin's pretty cool because it's, like, outdoorsy.
Yeah.
I'll do Austin.
I wonder if they have homeless people in rural places. Because, it'd be like the town drunk or something like that,
Oh, my God. Not the town drunk. We have a town drunk here.
We do?
Yeah, the guy that always
yeah.
He's always around the barber school.
Yeah,
he's like the town drunk. He's always drinking.
Yeah, and he's always mad.
So cool. Yeah, he's always mad. He's always talking to himself, but he's so cool. I'm like, this man is crazy. But,
that is funny. Well, it's not funny.
No, it's not funny. But one of my coworkers, she actually she's very, very like heavy in the like homeless community, like donating and getting them like clothes and shelter and all that stuff. And her, I want to say mother-in-law was homeless. So she's like very familiar with like pretty much everybody in the homeless community in Dallas. So she's doing it big so far. I'm really proud of her. So
Well, that's amazing.
yeah, her and a few people, they go out there, they, you know, give clothes and blankets and toys and all kind of stuff. So she's like super duper passionate about it. Every time she talks about it, she cries. Like she's so
Wow.
passionate about it. Yeah.
You know who's really, look, I wouldn't even consider this my homegirl,
Okay.
but there's this white girl in California who pretends to be homeless once per year for a week. And her and her friends get together. Listen to this. They go to Dick's Sporting Goods, buy a tent, go out there, have the portable chargers, portable snacks, all that, living out, and they're like showing like themselves out there being homeless for a week and really getting to the experience of understanding what it is to be without a home.
But that don't sound like they're homeless. It just sounds like they're camping. That's what it sounds like. Like they're on a camping trip in a tent with food and a phone.
It's so out of touch.
That don't make no sense.
I said, man, how disrespectful
Very disrespectful.
to say, oh, okay, look, I want to understand what it truly is to be homeless. So let me get my iPhone charger. let me buy a brand new tent.
Like, ma'am, you're camping. That's what you're doing. You're camping in the middle of the city. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Are you even out there helping the homeless people? Like, are you giving them your food? Are you giving them your blankets or your tents? Like, what are you doing?
But
Like,
some people are just out of touch like that, you know? Like, they, you know, that's the whole performative part of,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, it happens a lot in Dallas where you have it a lot of times, like, older white women are, like, huge into, like, charities of helping
of course.
underprivileged kids and all this, right? And then the people who work for them or the people who work with them that are of color, they treat terribly.
Yeah,
or
it's
don't even
always like
see,
that.
like, they don't even literally see them, or
Yeah.
they're being a elevator and be like, you know what I mean? You know, like, come on now.
It's always like that. And then, you know, you got the people who donate to, you know, to the homeless, or they're feeding the homeless, but they're filming it the whole time to put on their social media. I'm like, why y'all even doing this?
What do you think about that, though?
I don't know.
What do you
Something
think
about
that comes
I don't
from?
like. Well, you know, it's all about, oh, you know, this person, you're such a good person. It's just praise. People want praise. People want other people to know that they're doing good. It's the kindness of their hearts or whatever. But I just think it's so fake. Like, not everything has to be posted on social media. If you're going to go out there and feed the homeless, just feed the homeless. You don't have to post it. But some people really be out there posting it. Like, somebody will drive by a homeless person, get out their car, give them some money and do all this, and people be filming it. And I'm like, why y'all doing that? Like, it's crazy to me.
The word for praise in Asan is gen.
Yeah.
Gen.
Again.
G-E-E-N.
Again. That's what y'all doing.
Yeah.
Like, I think the ones that are really cool is like the barbers who go out there and give them haircuts.
Love that.
You know, that's
Love
super
that.
dope. Or the ones who, you know, do styling. They go out there and they style them up and get them ready for like not a photo shoot, maybe a photo shoot or like a
No,
job
they just
interview.
clean them up and yeah.
Like that's kind of cool because you can kind of see like a before and after, and they're not doing it to say, hey, look at me or anything like that. They're just saying, we just out here. If you want to come get a haircut, come get a haircut. But when it's like you're walking out there, you giving them money or you giving them food, or you out there just like, you know, to me, it's just all fake and phony. I just hate seeing stuff like that.
Yeah, I know, because it's funny. Like, more people should do it and not show it.
And not show it. Just do it.
Yeah, and just do it. Yeah.
Just do it. Unless you're like, hey, I'm volunteering at this shelter. We could use more people. We're here all day. Come out, do. You know what I mean? Like, that's different because you're getting people to come, or you wanting people to donate money. Here's how you can donate. Here's how you can help. That's different. But when there's a homeless person outside and your friend is filming you give them money, it's like, for what? Like, so people could just say, good job, person. You're such a great person. Keep it up. It's like,
You know what's funny?
So dumb.
That might be a tell. It might mean that they're a bad person, but in order to wash away being such a bad person, they must show people that they're good.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because most people, literally, I have a few people in my head who do that,
Me too.
and I'm like, they're not good people.
No, they're not. And then they do it, and once they do it, they'll say something like, you know, oh, hopefully I get good karma. You know, so obviously you're doing it for something. You know, you're not doing it just because you want to. You're doing it because you hope that God sees it and that you get blessed. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's just so dumb. People are just so dumb.
That's why I always get upset, because it's like, it's not about how you work, where you work, who you know, is how you treat people.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And if there's a certain way where people are looking and then they have integrity and they're like, oh, you know, act all nice. But when people aren't looking, you treat people like, you know, like trash.
Trash, exactly.
It's like, come on now. Like, it's just disingenuous. So when I see it,
I keep on scrolling. Like swipe.
You like the photo and be like, I see you.
No, heck no. Definitely not me.
Man. Well, yeah. How do we get to that about being homeless?
I have no idea.
I know I talked about the whole riches and all that.
Oh, that's probably how. You know, we just be bouncing from story to story.
Yeah, I know, but we've been on this new show. Finally got Bly on the show that she could finally not fall asleep to.
What you mean? First of all, you fell asleep the first time we started watching it. Yes.
Huh?
Yes, you did. So.
Well, you want to tell them what are you waiting on?
The name of the show. You gonna tell them?
You don't want me? You wanted me to say it first?
I want you to say it.
Wandavision. Have y'all seen Wandavision?
Y'all have to watch it. It's so good. I think we're gonna finish it probably tonight. I think we got like one episode left,
or two maybe.
Or maybe two. Man, it's so good. It's on Disney Plus, and it's kind of like. So, you know how we were on like Mandalorian really hard? This is kind of like another good show to start watching. It's very, not similar, but it's Marvel heroes, I guess.
Yeah.
So if you watch like the Avengers and all that stuff, it's the characters from the Avengers, and it's such a good show. It's very trippy, and you question a lot of what's happening, and you don't understand it. At least me, I don't understand a lot that happened. But once I started to think about it, like even today, I was like, oh, that's why they did this, is because of the Avengers. So if you're a Marvel, you know, fan or whatever, then you can kind of like put pieces together. But yeah, it's a really, really good show.
Yeah, I love the acting.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's like it goes from funny to serious to confusing to like cliffhanger to action.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, and I was sleeping on it before because I'll see people talk about it like, WandaVision. Oh man, it'll be coming out like every week. So I think they dropped a new episode every week.
Oh, like Mandalorian.
I think maybe, yeah.
Okay,
because people kept talking about it every week, and it's like, oh man, WandaVision. And I'm like, I thought Wanda Sykes was going to be in it, you know?
Oh God, she's funny though. I like her.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, oh, Wanda got her own show.
Oh God, not even close.
So I'm thinking it's like a version of her doing something. So then I saw this robot guy, and I was like, okay, what's this?
Yeah.
And then I was like, I stubbornly didn't want to go into it because I was like, I don't want to be another, you know, when the people say, this is such a good show.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, they don't have taste like I have taste.
Oh my God.
I'll really tell you if it's a good show. Now, see, I'm like, damn, this whole good.
But the first episode, it was like black and white. And I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like. I thought it was like an I Love Lucy type thing, and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this, but I'm gonna be open minded and just watch it. And then as I'm watching it, something happened where it did like kind of glitch, and I was like, oh, what was that? You know, remember I was telling you, I was like, what just happened? I was like, something's weird. Something weird just happened, and I don't get it. You know, so I say, okay, let me watch the second episode. The same thing. I was like, okay, this is kind of getting interesting because something weird is happening, and I want to figure out what that weirdness is, you know? So now, I mean, I'm all in it. It's giving me nightmares and everything.
Give you nightmares.
Or I can't sleep because I feel like I'm actually in the TV show.
Multiple nightmares is giving you?
Yeah, like every time we watch it, at that night, I'm having nightmares. I feel like I'm actually in the show. I'm a character in the show. So it's just like weird. I wake up like extremely upset, and I'm like like dripping sweat. I'm hot. And I'm just like, this show is like getting to my brain or something. I don't know. But I really like it. It's really good.
What you said remind me of that scary situation in I think like Waxahachie, where the mother and daughter were having nightmares about that mirror. And then they just kept thinking something's behind that mirror.
Yeah.
And then they took down the mirror. You remember I told you?
Yeah, you told me, yeah.
Open behind the mirror, there's a door.
See, that's crazy.
But so they go behind the wall. Behind the wall is styrofoam. So they break apart the styrofoam. Look behind that. There's like a door opening wall. So you open that. There's like another like hallway door.
Oh my God.
Ugh.
See, stuff like that be creeping me out.
And they said it was connected to a haunted hotel.
Oh my God.
And that they were having like nightmares of like dead bodies behind the door or behind the mirror, because it's like, that's a weirdly placed mirror.
Yeah.
And they just felt that something's behind it.
See, and I'm like a firm believer of believing your dreams. When things happen in your dreams, I feel like that's either your past or your future, you know, because things will happen. And I feel like that's kind of like what deja vu is. I'm like, I felt this before. I remember this exact same thing. And so when I wake up, you know, from dreams and I'm like upset with you, I'm like, it felt real. Like, I don't know if this was the past or if it's the future, but it really felt, you know, like a real thing. So
And she'd be really upset with me too.
yeah, I'd be really mad. I'd be like, you told that girl that you didn't want to talk to me no more, and that you were like leaving your family to be with her, like for real. You know, I'd be really mad. I do, but yeah, I'd be having these weird dreams, and you know, a lot of times it does. It involves the boys, which I'm, you know, obviously overly sensitive about. So when it has anything to deal with them, like just randomly leaving the house, walking outside on their own, you know, stuff like that, I wake up and I'm like, you know, and I go check on them. I'm like, okay, let me just make sure they're in the house. And then I go turn the alarm on. You know, I'm doing all this stuff because I'm just like panicky. Then it takes me like 2 hours to fall back to sleep, you know? So yeah, dreams are, man, they're just really tricky sometimes.
Yeah. I wonder if there's a professional dream interpreter.
Maybe, I'm sure, because I mean, if you Google like your dreams, it'll tell you things, you know, about what you're dreaming. And this has nothing to do with dreams, but my uncle passed away. What was that, in February? And so one day we had woke up in the morning. This was like maybe about a month later. There's a red cardinal, and he was just flying. We have a bedroom door that leads outside to our backyard, so the cardinal was just slamming into the window. And I'm like, look at this bird. Like, why is it doing it? And I'm, you know, pulling out my phone. And you were like, oh, this bird has been coming here for like almost a week or 2 weeks or something like that. And I'm like, really? This is my first time seeing it. And he just keeps flying into the window or into the door, the glass. And I'm just like, this is so weird.
Yeah, but not in a dangerous way, like tapping. And
just tapping,
in a way.
So like kind of playful, very gentle. And so I'm like, okay, that's weird, because we always get cardinals. We always get blue jays in our backyard, but never for it to just fly into the window. You know, like you said, tapping very gently. So then I just Googled it. And then it said that whenever a red cardinal, you know, flies into like a window of your house, it means that someone, you know, close to you has passed away. And I'm like, oh my God, you know, this is probably my uncle coming just to say hi, you know? So I believe in stuff like that. Like that type of stuff really just, I mean, I believe in it. I don't know if it's because I come from New Orleans and we believe in all that like voodoo stuff.
No,
know?
I mean, I think that there's something to it.
Yeah, I truly believe. And then even we went to New Orleans last week or 2 weeks ago. We went to the funeral, and my mom's older sister, she passed away maybe like, I don't know, 15 years ago, I want to say. And she loved butterflies. So every time I would see a butterfly, it just reminds me of her. So as soon as we left the funeral, you know, 2 weeks ago, as soon as I walk out of the church, there's a butterfly flying towards me. And it was very gentle. It wasn't like just flew past me. It was like flying towards me and just kind of fluttered around me. And I literally said like, hey, Auntie Roxanne, like, what are you doing here? You know, like I feel like that was her coming to her brother's funeral. Like I just believe in stuff like that, you know? So,
yeah. What do you call the person who believes like that, you know?
Crazy. You're like, ooh, she crazy, y'all.
I love it though.
I do too.
I'm not going to hate on it.
Yeah, it makes me feel good. So it makes me feel like that they're here and they see me, and you know, that they're proud of me and they're around, you know. Just don't come around when like, you know, when I'm doing stuff like, you know. I
know you be seeing
grown stuff.
You be seeing some wild stuff though.
I know. Don't be coming visit me like, you know, when it's like, you know what I'm saying? Don't come visit me during them times. Yeah. And I always think that too. I'm like, so when it's like time for like mommy and daddy to like hang out, do like, you know, your dead relatives come visit during that time. They're like, oh, I'm sorry, I'll come back later. You know, like,
oh, okay, I see.
Like they're like cheering you on. They're like, oh my God.
Wow.
I hope you don't see this part.
That'd be wild if they did stay for that.
Right? I would hate if my grandpa was just like chilling, like just like, that's my girl. You know what I mean? I'm like, no, grandpa, I don't need you around.
It reminds me a little bit of like, I was gonna tell you like, do you feel like all ghosts are connected to you, or do you think they're just random ghosts who come by?
Well, I think that, you know, people that I know, like family members, they do stop by. They do come and visit because sometimes I can feel their presence. But there was one time I did see a ghost for the first time ever in life. It was actually at your apartment downtown. This was before we had kids, and it freaked me out. Mind you, I've always like heard voices or heard things, and I've always felt, you know, like a presence. But this was the first time I actually saw one during the day. And you remember, I
you
freaked
screamed.
out.
Yeah.
I screamed and I cried because we were about to leave your apartment. We were going somewhere. And you had an island in the kitchen, and you had a candle. And, you know, y'all, I love my candles. The candle was lit on top of the middle of the island. And before we left, I was like, oh, let me go and blow the candle out before we leave. I blow the candle out, and on the other side of the island, a child jumps up. So I literally see his face, and it was as if he was blowing out the candle because it was like his birthday, you know? So it was kind of like a surprise, like a playful thing. And I screamed. Like, I remember to this day, like, what his face looked like. It was a little white kid with long hair. And I was just like, it frightened me. That was the first time I actually saw, like, a face, you know? So I believe in stuff like that. Like, when I hear noises and when I wake up in the middle of the night because I feel like I hear footsteps or I felt something touch me before, you know, that woke me up, and I feel things.
In this house, I've heard something.
Yeah.
Like, I remember I was asleep during the day. I sleep in the bed during the day, and then I was like, all of a sudden I hear, doom, 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 doom. I'm like, and I wake up, I'm like, what?
Your heart is beating.
Yeah, my heart's just beating. I was like, Bly. I'm just quiet. He's like, Bly.
And I'm not even here.
I'm like, oh my God, I heard those. Like, I heard steps coming towards me.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I know I heard that.
And I hear that all the time. Especially when we're sleeping. Oh, I hear it all the time. Like, I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I could feel somebody getting closer and closer to the door. And because on my side of the bed, I can, you know, I'm facing the window or the door, which leads to outside, I can see the reflection. So I'm waiting to see the reflection come into our bedroom. I'm literally waiting for it. My eyes are open and my heart is beating. So I know I'm up and I hear the footsteps, and then I'm just like, oh my God, they're about to walk into this room. I hear them. And then it just gets quiet. And my heart is beating. And I'm like, breathe. Go back to sleep. You know, so I sense it all the time. I mean, it hasn't been recently, but yeah. And sometimes I wake you up, I'm like, babe, did you hear that? Like, it sounds like footsteps, you know, like, and you're like, I heard it, you know? So I'm
There's
like,
nothing worse than a toy turning on in the middle of the night.
oh, that's the absolute worst. That happened a couple of weeks ago. I woke you up. I was like, babe, there's a noise. And you just got up and you just went and turned it off and then got back in the bed. I was like, what was it? You're like, oh, it was a watch. I was like, what are you talking about? And then the next morning, the next day it happened again. And the same thing, you just turned it off. I was like, what was it? And you're just like, oh, it's the boy's watch. And then you actually brought it to the bedroom to show me. But I was like, but how did it just turn on by itself? You know, so, you know, things be happening. And when we first moved into this house, oh my God, I was like, do not leave me alone in this house. Like, and then our guest bedroom, I was like, I am not going in that guest bedroom. I knew for sure somebody was living in that guest bedroom.
Oh,
probably still is to this day.
I know, it's nerve-wracking.
He better be paying rent. You hear that? I need you to be paying rent.
Hey, we ain't talking 50-50.
We ain't talking 50-50. I'm talking about you need to pay a portion of you renting out that guest bedroom.
I got a good word though.
What's that?
Mensch.
Mensch.
Yeah.
Yeah. What does that mean?
Look, it's a good word.
Mensch. Okay.
That's a responsible, mature, upstanding person.
Me.
Yeah, Mensch.
Mensch. I'm just oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't really know how you use it though. Like,
me either. Like I was gonna say Bill Cosby, but not Bill Cosby.
I know a good Mensch. You know,
like Oprah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. Like, that might have been a fail. Let me give you another word. Brabble.
Brabble. I've never heard that before.
Yeah, Brabble.
I've heard of Scrabble.
Yeah, Brabble.
Brabble. What's that?
Brabble is when you argue, stubbornly argue over small petty things.
That's me again. Look at you over here trying to define your wife. I see you. You know I'm petty.
Nah, I just wanted to kind of share that with you in case you ever need to use it.
Man, Bly, stay brabbling.
Man, we're dealing with this AC issue right now.
Oh my God,
I'm just trying to stay cool.
Yeah, it's the worst, absolute worst. We deal with this like every few years. It's our fault though. We never do what we're supposed to do, and then it happens, and we're like, damn.
Yeah, and I always wonder. I'm like, is an air conditioner supposed to cost you $400 a year?
No, I think the guy just charges us. But luckily, he hasn't been here in about 2 years.
Yeah.
Before, when we first moved here, it was like every summer he was stopping by. I was like, you are a little expensive. But he hasn't been here in 2 years, so hopefully he charges us $400 and we won't see him for another 2 years.
I know, isn't that crazy? 400.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's how much it costs to get someone to your house.
I know. You remember when we got a plumber over to fix, like, we had a leaky pipe or something, and it cost him maybe like $2 to buy the pipe. And he charges like $80 to install. I was like, you know you wrong for that. You could have told me exactly. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, you could have told me exactly what to buy. I would have went and bought it, and we could have just attached it for $2.
Yeah.
Man, that fee. What's the fee called again?
Which
when
fee?
Would they charge us to do what? When they have to like actually work on it? What is that
Labor?
called? Labor. Yeah, that's expensive.
I know $80. I'm like, you only been here 3 minutes.
Yeah, and it only cost you $2 for the material.
A little thing. I was like,
I was so mad. I even told my mom.
But they were fixing something else, and then they threw that in there.
Maybe, but then it was 2 guys when it wasn't a 2-man job. So they, of course, they had to split it both ways. So yeah, of course, charges $80, so they both could make a quick $40 real quick.
I get that.
Yeah, I guess.
Can't knock the hustle.
I can.
Anything else you want to share with the people?
No, y'all just,
Someone
stay
gave you a
safe.
compliment.
Somebody gave me a compliment?
Yeah, they said, I love watching your show. And I was like, oh, appreciate that. The one specifically when your wife is on the thumbnail.
Really?
And I was like, why? He says, I want to learn like the dynamic, between like how y'all interact and, is she going to hold you accountable for things or
I
like,
will.
or is she gonna throw like wrenches in, or are you gonna like try to act through it, or I just want to see that kind of like interaction because for myself I want to learn that within relationships.
So they want to see us box? I mean, we be boxing.
You want to see us box?
You know what I'm saying? We be up in your box.
Yeah. So sorry I cut you off.
No, that's super cool though. I really appreciate that. I mean, I enjoy being on here.
But I hear that a lot though.
Well, I feel like we keep it real. And, how we are on camera is how we are in real life. I mean, besides, like, the smiles. So when we argue, we don't be smiling. Yeah. Unless, like, you're wrong, then you smile through it.
Look at you.
When I get you, you be smiling. I'm like, see, I'm telling the truth because you're smiling.
Yeah, my mom does that.
Really?
See, I know you're lying. I was like, I'm not. I'm smiling because
because you're lying.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not lying. I'm just smiling. She's like, oh, Julia, I know when you lie, you smile. I was like... What are y'all doing?
When you lie, you smile, or when you're wrong.
Yeah.
Like when I get like a good comeback, and you're like, yeah. Instead of saying you were right, you just start smiling. I'm like, yeah, I won this argument.
Wow.
But, it's all good though.
Well, like I said, I cut you off. Anything you want to say to the people?
No, just stay safe and wear y'all masks, please. I know that it's lifted in Texas and we're back to like 100%, but that virus is still there. If you want to get vaccinated, go ahead and get that vaccine. We haven't yet. We're still thinking about it, but the offer is not off the table, I guess.
Yeah.
Isn't that the saying that people say? But just stay safe. Wear that mask, wash them hands.
Yeah, you heard her.
You know what I'm saying?
As you already know, thank you for joining us. We love you, and we'll see you later. Peace.
Peace out.
And lastly, you must remember, don't even start if you don't have what it takes. Peace out.